Welcome back to KangBrosTV. Just wanted to do a quick preview for the fight coming up this weekend, which is going to be Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia. One that a lot of people have got their eyes on for various different reasons. Obviously, it's going to be a very good fight, but that division at the moment is on fire. Haney done the business, Gervonta Davis done the business, and obviously Teofimo Lopez done the business. Well, I mean, no disrespect to him, but unexpectedly against Lomachenko. So he's obviously the king of the division now. But this fight is as I said, all those guys are going to be watching this fight because of the fact that Garcia is coming with a lot of hype. There's a lot of noise around Garcia. Rightfully so. I mean, so far, his record's perfect. Every time he comes up against somebody, he puts them to sleep quickly. And, you know, to be signed up and working with Canelo's trainer, you know, Oscar De La Hoya knows how to promote his fighters. But on the flip side, very interesting opponent in Luke Campbell, gold medalist, has been in there with some of the very best in the division, and experience on his side. He's got the pedigree. So that's basically, you know, that's the matchup in a nutshell. There's not much in it with height. There's not much in it with reach. So how do you see it panning out?
I'm going to go, because we want to do the prediction quickly, so I'm going to say I can see Campbell winning this on points. But the only problem that I have with that is that will they give him the result in America? Because of all the hype that comes with it, the Golden Boy thing, everything, I'm a bit worried that would there be something funky going on with the judges. That's what I'm going to say, because for me, Campbell has too much experience. I think this fight has come just slightly too early for Garcia from the opponents that I've seen. I just think there's nothing there that I can take away from there thinking, you know what, Garcia's just got this in his locker, he's got this in his locker. At the moment, all I can see is him coming forward. He's got speed, accuracy, and power. I just want to see what he's like, you know, being pushed back. What's his defense like? I can't see any of that. If someone can tell me some clips that I can watch maybe of some past fights, because I don't see any of that. And this is where Campbell, for me, you said about the whole reach and height and everything, but the age gap is huge and the experience is huge. And Campbell's been in there with the best, so I think Campbell's footwork is going to be very impressive. This
That's the point I was going to make very quickly as well. I think the one thing you've got to understand is, timing-wise, I think for Campbell, I think this is the perfect time to be fighting Garcia, because you're not getting any younger. You've been in there with arguably two of the best that were in the division, and you've been there and you've seen it. This guy's 22 years old. You beat him, you're propelled right up there with the other guys. Teofimo Lopez then it's an unbelievable fight for him. Haney he's been talking smack to Garcia for a while now, and you know, so in that division, I think this is the perfect time for Campbell. For Garcia, and I think this, like my brother said, it's ballsy.
It's very ballsy. It's
ballsy. And I rate that because I know that if you look at his CV up to now, I've looked at the fighters, we've watched the fights over, and I've not been impressed with the level of opponents that he's been put up with. In his last fight, he was up against a guy that everyone's like, right, okay, this is going to be his toughest challenge, and he absolutely put this guy to sleep, yeah? And that's somebody that's been there with Farmer, who's been in there with Tank. So, do I think this is the right time for Campbell? I think yes. Do I think this is the right time for Garcia? I don't think this is the right time to be fighting Campbell, because Campbell he's got the background, he's got great footwork, he's got much better defence than what I've seen that he's been put up against so far. So ballsy, that's what I would say.
What I would say, you talk about good timing for Campbell, but if Campbell loses this,
but that's inevitable though. He's 32, 33 years old.
But is that it for him then?
Well, no, I don't think it's it for him. But then I guess he will get the fights like, you know, Haney all of a sudden. Then it's a good fight to have, because I know that Eddie Hearn works with Haney. That's a good fight for Campbell, because you're still going to make money, but you're still in there with a notable champion. Do you know what I mean? Tank fighting Campbell then becomes a good fight, because it's almost like, right, okay, well, but he's in there for the wrong reasons after that, because then it's going to be right, how quickly can you get Campbell out of there? That's what people are going to say, because Garcia done it in 3 or whatever, you know, or then it's like, right, okay, well, Tanks will go in there and do it in 1. Haney done him in 6 rounds. Teofimo, how quickly can you do it? So I think there's still going to be fights out there for him, but I think this is the time now where you think his experience, he had time out, he's had problems in the past, well, not problems, but you know, his father passed and it was tough for him. He had his own ups and downs, his own career. So this is the time for him to be taking this fight, and he needs to make a statement in this fight as well.
So if in terms of predictions, then what are you going with? Because you know, I've gone with Campbell.
I'm actually going with Garcia. I think this is going to be a very tough challenge for him, but I think there's a lot of listen. You're working with the top people, and they don't put their neck on the line for just anybody. And from what I've seen, his speed is actually frightening, and the way that people are folding when they're getting caught from both left and right hand is impressive. The only thing I will say is Campbell, and this is the point I'm trying to make. You're gonna have to do something better than what I've seen to take out Campbell. Do I believe he's got it? Yes, I do. I think he does have that in his arsenal, but he's gonna need to be better than what he has been to beat someone like Campbell, because he's got the war wounds. You know, he's got the scars that he knows what it's like to be in there with the best. He's gone the distance with Lomachenko and Linares. So, you know, it's a hell of an opportunity for Garcia to put his name right up there.
So prediction in terms of rounds then. So what I know it's very hard to predict in that.
I reckon it'd be a late stoppage. I reckon you're looking at maybe like the 9th, 10th, maybe a stoppage. Yeah, because I just think it's going to come a point where Garcia is going to be the slightly fresher man, and I think that he will wear Campbell down, because I think, like I said, with Garcia, one thing that impresses me that is shots come from all different angles, and they come at speed. So for me, I think, you know, Campbell's has got miles on the clock. And I think it's going to come a point where he's going to be like, do I need this? Because I think Garcia will keep bringing that speed. That's my opinion.
That's interesting. I mean, if I see, because all I'm saying is, if the hype is real, if the Garcia's hype is real, like you said, the speed is very scary. But this is the level of opponent that you're talking about. The speed is scary, but the accuracy that comes with it as well. And people are just, the power as well, which is, so all those combination is scary in itself.
But what I've seen so far, people stand in front of Garcia.
Yeah,
and Campbell, we won't be doing that.
That's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, if the hype is real, then I personally, if I want to go into the favour of Garcia, then I'll see it going early. I don't see it going later. For me, the later the rounds, I think that's more in Campbell's favour, personally for me, because he'll know how to go about these rounds. Because Garcia hasn't ever been in that later rounds with anyone. So,
but again, no disrespect to Garcia's record either. His amateur pedigree is obviously phenomenal. He's got some unbelievable numbers in the amateurs, but Luke Campbell's no joke in that front either. So I can see why, you know, I can see completely see. My point to that was, and the reason why I say in those rounds, because I think the first few rounds Campbell's going to be very, very standoffish, and he's going to use the footwork, and then I think after a while I get the feeling Garcia's going to be like, well, do you know what? He's not here to really. He wants to fight off the back foot, and I think that's what Campbell's plan will be, to fight off the back foot, to almost see what is the hype real. And I think that's going to make Garcia grow in confidence and think, well, you know what, he's given me a lot more respect than I probably would have expected, and that's where I believe he'll grow into the fight.
Yeah.
And then in those later rounds, I think that's when it's going to be showtime. So that's my personal opinion. I think Garcia, this is the time now. This is his time to really make a statement in the division. I really rate Campbell, by the way, but I just think, you know, it's the different ends of the spectrum now.
Yeah, I'm going with Campbell, but as I said, I think there may be here a case where you look at the judges and think they've done him over. That's what I can see possibly happening.
You heard it here first, the conspiracy theorists.
and the thing is, it's sad that I'm saying that, but the thing is, the real boxing fans know this shit happens, right? And we all know this. And I think this is a boxing fight definitely for the boxing fans. Like, no one who's outside of boxing, I don't think will pay much attention unless you're like a follower on Instagram or something of Garcia. But this is a proper boxing fans fight.
And for me,
stylistically, everything.
This is and hats off to Matchroom and Golden Boy and whatever, because what a way to kick off 2021. Happy New Year to everyone who follows and shows us love. But what a way to start off the boxing calendar. Because for me, this is one of the fights that's going to go under the radar, like you say, for your social fans, but for your boxing fans, this is something that everyone's going to want to see because of what could come next. If Garcia wins this, then that division is looking hot, and I can't wait to see what happens next. If Campbell wins this, then all of a sudden people are going to be scared, because they're going to be like, you know what, we always knew he could do it, and he's now done it. So it's a good one. Yeah,
Campbell's always been in that kind of
the maybe guy.
Yeah, and I mean, he's definitely been domestically the best, European definitely, and the world is questionable when he's reached that level. So this will definitely be a test. I think he's got that under his belt with Lomachenko. I hope he brings a whole new side to him. Think that, you know what, I'm going to take the experience and go forward.
And I think, to your point, is to finish that off, is that I hope that Garcia doesn't get blinded by the lights a little bit and realise that, oh my God, like, do you know what, this guy's actually decent compared to what I've thought. And I hope he does go with what he knows and what he's good at, because that would be great to see as well, because I think that's what's going to make this a spectacle.
So all the viewers, let us know your predictions in the comments. We'll look forward to reading them, and we'll try to get back to them as soon as we can. But until then, we'll see you in the reaction video to the fight. So enjoy the fight, but don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and definitely comment. Peace.